This is a major problem that is stopping you from getting more clients for your online fitness business. You're spending all this time posting content, hoping that qualified leads will land in your inbox, but it's simply not happening. Let me explain. When it comes to people making purchases online, especially coaching, there are 5 fundamental angles that you need to be attacking from in your marketing. Without them, your wheels are going to be spinning in a stationary position and you're not going to be able to attract people to your offer. And if you can't get your offer in front of people, you're not going to be able to do what you do best, which is getting people amazing results. Therefore, a new approach is needed. And by the end of this video, I'm going to give you the crystal clear bird's eye view of exactly what content you need to be creating so that you can finally get to those 10 to 20K months in as little as 3 to 4 hours per week. So why is content so important and how do so many people get it wrong? Let's discuss. Your job with content is to attract and serve the right people. That's it, right? You don't need to worry about vanity metrics. When you're running a business, they don't matter. And we've got to remember that fitness coaching is a people's business. The information is out there already. What they're actually buying into is you, the coach, not the training plan, not the nutrition plan, not the check-ins, not the silly trends or things like that, right? You're not trying to go viral here. You don't need to be the next Mr. Beast or be a fitness influencer with 500K followers to do well as an online fitness coach. And the funny thing is, a lot of these sort of fitness influencers are not making a lot of money at all, right? That's why you see the discount codes in their bio, because they don't have anything better to sell. So they're focusing on these little discount codes that they get paid hardly anything for, instead of focusing on a fitness coaching package, right, that they would be able to make a lot more money from. And as a business, it's actually more of a headache to have a massive influx of followers, right? And I'm going to tell you why. So you're making life 10 times harder for yourself if you don't view your social media accounts this way. Now, to give a little bit more context about this situation, the whole purpose of your funnel, right, is when using a social media profile to generate revenue for the business is to actually act as like a security checkpoint that qualifies traffic coming into your direction. So can you even help them? Are they even the kind of person that you'd want to work with? If the answer is no, then you don't want them anywhere near your page, right? So when your messaging is aimed at the masses in an attempt to generate more likes and views, what ends up happening from an inverted perspective, if your funnel isn't carefully engineered in a way that benefits you and your business, right, content being on the front lines, the top of funnel, is a series of problems will happen, right? You end up hopping on calls with people who aren't even a good fit. You end up filling up your calendar with unqualified leads. You will get people in the DMs who don't care about what you sell, right? And they end up ghosting you all the time. Your engagement will be low because of your broad messaging, okay? So when people actually follow you, they realize that a lot of your content isn't even relevant to them. And you may get a lot of followers, right, if you're just quite an Instagrammable person, but you're going to have low conversion rates in your business, which is actually what matters. So it ends up being more of a nightmare because instead of being proactive about being able to manually build relationships with people and get them onto a call and sell them into your program, you've now got all these people who have filled up your funnel and you don't know what to do with them. So you realize it's too much work for very little return, trying to scrape through all these people. So you end up just relying on inbound DMs instead. And when you rely only on inbound, that's only going to be like maybe 10 to 20% of the amount of the total sales that you could be making. So you end up leaving a lot of money on the table. So how many of these problems just wouldn't exist if your first checkpoint was working in your favor? Most of them wouldn't exist. So here's exactly what needs to happen. First of all, your mindset around content needs to change. The role is simple. You just need to show up consistently to an exclusive group of people, right? But you need to pretend like you're talking to the same person every single time. Show them why you and your program is the best solution on the market that can solve their specific problems. The reason why this is so important in the online world is because people have the luxury to easily search for the coach who specializes the most in the transformation that they're looking to achieve. They don't need to waste their time with a generalist, right? Who's just trying to please everyone. In fact, that just takes away mental resources within the coach, away from the areas of expertise that the person requires from them, right? So they're trying to dip their toes in 101 different things, right? And, it's not beneficial to you. So putting the program to one side, the product is one thing, but how relatable are you to them? Like, how much will they actually resonate with you? If you're just trying to be someone you're not, then don't expect a high level of resonance in your audience, right? Because they'll just go elsewhere and find someone who clicks much better to what they need, right? So you need to avoid this at all costs if you want to build and scale a successful online fitness coaching business. So let's make sure that you have everything in order first. So here's a little checklist, right? You've got a few different areas. Number one, market demand. Is there actual successful competitors in this niche? And it's not a bad thing. It's actually a good thing. Because if other people are winning, then that means that there's room for you to win as well. If you're struggling to find competitors, that's actually more of a red flag. Because in 2024, online coaching has been around for quite a while now. So if there's no competitors in a niche, that's usually a bad sign that there isn't enough demand for a good amount of money to be made there. So another thing is target audience clarity. So can you clearly define the kind of person who you're trying to attract? Okay. Like what I said before, you should be speaking to the same person every single time in your content. So if you can't clearly define who that is, then how are you meant to make content that serves them, right? Does this audience have a pressing problem or desire? Is it life-changing or is it just nice to have? It goes without saying that you need to be avoiding trying to sell something that is just a nice to have, because there's just simply not going to be enough urgency for them to spend a 4-figure sum of money on fixing that issue, if it's not even much of an issue in the first place. And obviously they need to have the financial resources to invest, or you're just going to be constantly swimming upstream. There's going to be tons of friction when it comes to selling people your thing, right? Your close rate is going to be low and you're just going to be struggling, right? You're going to want to quit after a few years, probably even less than that. Offer specificity. So can you clearly define the transformation? Because you shouldn't be focused on selling the processes, like the training plan and stuff. You should be focused on this one big transformation, and then you sell the vehicle to that transformation. People only care about the end result. They don't care about what's in between. With that being said, though, you need to know what the roadblocks are stopping them from getting that transformation, because those are the things that you're going to completely eliminate in your program. So if you know your market well, and you're going to know all the problems that they have, you can solve those, and you're going to know the things that are going to give them the most perceived value when thinking about buying your program. And resonance, right? Does your own story match well with who you're targeting? It's not all about the program. They want to be led and see you as a role model. So ideally, you need to have done the thing that they're trying to achieve, or else they're not really going to relate to you as much as they could. And when you have all this mapped out and in order, now it's time to dive a little deeper and make sure that every single one of your posts on social media serves a purpose, right? Let's get into that. The first post is value content. Now, this is the most common type of content that you will see on social media. It's basically just a way for you to display expertise and authority around the problems that your target audience face and need help with. So mindset with this kind of content should be, what can the viewer take away from this video? Will it actually help them reach their goal? And is it actionable? Or am I just waffling on? Are they just going to scroll without paying much attention to it? So examples are like tutorials, exercise selection, cheat sheets, recipes, hacks that save time, mistakes to avoid, how-to guides, right? This is where it ends for most coaches, though. Obviously, that's not the whole picture, which is why you're on this video. We still have 4 more to cover, and number 5 is my favorite. So let's move on. Connection content. This is to improve the know, like, and trust factor within your audience, so they don't see you as a complete robot. It will allow people to dive deeper into your life, so they can actually relate to you on a deeper level, more than just educating them. They want to relate to you, so you need to open up. If you don't open up, everything's just going to be very surface level and robotic and like you're reading from a textbook. So remember at school, there was always that one teacher that you liked. And I don't know about you, but with me, I always got better grades in that class. It was a better environment that, gave me more motivation to actually work and do well because I liked being there. Okay. If you don't like being in a program, you're not going to thrive and get good results. So it's the same thing. So examples include, raw behind the scenes, life updates, daily vlogs, hobbies, interests. Because if you sell exactly what someone needs and they can relate to you because they've got similar hobbies and interests and things, that just seals the deal. Like, why would they want to work with anyone else? So it's just extra ammunition for connecting with people and making them more likely to want to become a client. However, let's be honest though, you can be the most charismatic and down-to-earth person in the world, but that doesn't instill confidence about your ability to actually get someone results that they desire. So this next one is critical. Social proof. This should be your number one priority when thinking of content ideas. If you have client wins and testimonials, you need to be showing it off and using it as the base for content. You can talk all you want, but the real evidence that your program works is in your social proof. Now, when you're making a piece of value content, you can always back it up and strengthen it with a bit of social proof. So if you're giving advice about something or insights, you can say the hook, show the social proof, then give the value. Okay, you can double up here. Now, a lot of people aren't maximizing the power of their social proof, right? You've got video testimonials, you've got long form case studies on YouTube, you've got client interviews on YouTube, you've got micro sales letters, which is kind of what I just referred to there about backing up value with social proof, right? Before and after pictures is the most obvious one, and client wins screenshots as well. Most people just use these, right? They forget about these ones. So you can use multiple formats per client result. The more the better, right? Just shove it down their throats if you want to completely overwhelm the logical part of their brain that makes decisions, right? Because when it comes to making a purchase, obviously you've got the logical side of your brain and the emotional side of your brain, right? If you can make it just completely undeniable that you're able to get them results, that's the logical part sold. Then they just need to like you, be familiar with you, trust you, all this stuff. But there is a catch to this, okay? You still need to inspire and lead them towards making, right, let's be honest, slightly uncomfortable decisions, right? It isn't all just about closing them logically. You need conviction and leadership, which is exactly why you don't want to miss out on this next one. That is motivational. So I like to view this content type as basically just calling out BS and being the intervention that people need to stop delaying the things that they know they need to do. Ultimately, the role of a coach is to be a leader. And if your audience don't see you in this way, then they're going to be much less likely to hire you. So examples of this can just be, people wait until the new year, right? Call that out. Putting off till Monday mentality, call that out. Giving up after 2 weeks mentality, call that out, right? Just to sit down, almost like you're the big brother to the viewers, and you're sitting down, giving them the harsh truths of what they need to hear, and they're going to respect you for it, right? So just any common themes that you can think of that are preventing people from reaching their goals, okay? This piece of content may just be that little push that they need to get someone over the fence in moments of, emotion, worry, doubt. Ultimately, they know what they need to happen, but they're just getting in their own way, right? So this content just gives that little push, that firm guidance that they need to make the right decision. And So one of my clients actually said to me one time that the only reason he hired me was because I was able to guide him to the right decision in a confident and calm way, right? When he was having these doubts, these worries and everything, and I was able to guide him in the right direction, the direction that he knew he needed to go in. And he said that was just like the nail in the coffin, right? That made him more certain about, his choice to hire me. So if you're not willing to be the leader and to actually guide people, right, in times where they might be a little bit worried or hesitant, then they're not really going to view you as the person who's able to get them the result that they desire. So this content might seem a little confrontational to some people, but it is very, very necessary, right? In this line of business where you are a coach, you're meant to be a leader, and you have to be able to be the one to stand up and guide people through those uncomfortable decisions and those situations. So before people even get to this point though, their whole perspective might need shifted, right? Which is why this last part is absolutely key. And that's limiting beliefs and objections. This will stand in the way of people making the right decision. I like to call it ethical brainwashing, right? Which is basically just all the limiting beliefs and all the objections that would stop someone from taking action. You need to eliminate these things one after another in your content. So absolutely anything that you can think of that is just a limiting belief or a silly objection, right? You can literally make pieces of content, just pluck one out, right? You might have a spreadsheet or something that just has all of them written down, and you're just going to pick them out one by one, make a piece of content about it, right? I don't have time to work out. Meal prep isn't practical for me. Now isn't the right time. I'm not confident enough to go to the gym. People are going to have all these limiting beliefs about why they can't take action. And most of the time, it's just because they're not educated enough to know how to find the path through them, right? You're the expert here. You're the one with all the experience and the insights. So you have to show up and tell them why it is possible and how they can do it, right? So what I mean by ethical brainwashing is you're basically priming their mindset, getting it into the perfect state for them to be able to comfortably and confidently take action on what they know they should be doing. So let's just run through it quickly. Summary. So are you being seen as an authority who can fix all their problems, right? Are you showing your expertise about all the topics that you need to know to help them get the result? Are you allowing them to know, like, and trust you, right? Not just fitness talk all the time. Are you displaying proof that your program works? Like literal proof and evidence? Are you motivating them and guiding them towards the decisions that they need to make? Bloody hell, I can't speak. And are you priming their mindset to take action? Right? These are all very important. If you include all these elements in your content strategy, you'll be able to monetize your audience in the most profitable way. Ultimately, content is the fuel to your business. If your messaging is all wrong, then don't expect it to run like a Ferrari. With that being said, this video is only the tip of the iceberg. So if you want a deeper dive and you want a more personal plan of action, feel free to click the link in the description. Talk to me. Let's jump on a call and we'll get you pointed in the right direction. Don't forget to give me a follow on Instagram, and cheers. I'll see you next time.